My last DNA extraction video was not really a success. To make up for it, I will do another DNA extraction today, this time from strawberries. First, I stole 10 moderately sized strawberries from my grandma. I then placed them in this plastic bag. It is recommended to use a zipper bag, but I didn't have one. Anyways, now I have to crush these strawberries with my hands. I was a bit scared that it will spill out on the white paper, and since I didn't have another one, the whole video would be ruined. But I did it anyway, and it was okay. This process of crushing the strawberries is one of the most important steps. By pulverizing the strawberries, we are crushing the cell wall that's protecting the DNA. The cell wall, however, is only one of 3 barriers we need to destroy to expose the DNA. I will explain them in the later steps. Also, I recommend to crush the strawberries as much as possible as it will improve your final yield. I also have to give credit to my friend that had to hold the reflector for the whole time during this video. Good for him, he only has to do that once more because the light holder tripod thingy that I order is arriving soon. It kinda looks like I just stole someone's organs, and now I am, for some reason, crushing them in a plastic bag. After some time, I was done absolutely shredding these poor strawberries, and it is now the time to make the extraction solution. First, I poured around 180 milliliters of water in this beaker. After that, I added 20 milliliters of dish soap. It is best to have a non-colored soap, but I didn't have one. Honestly, I think my green soap is even better because it gives a bit of contrast to the colors in this video. And for those wondering in these shots, it looks like I poured 50 ml of soap, but that is just an illusion. I had a hard time determining how much soap I poured in, so I suggest measuring it in a small beaker instead of just pouring directly in. After that, I added a teaspoon of salt and stirred the mixture around. The sodium ions from the salt we added will help to further free the DNA by moving a lot of proteins that are tightly holding the DNA. Now I poured the extraction solution we just made into the bag with the strawberries that we pre-formed a genocide on a bit earlier. Remember when I mentioned that we still have 2 barriers to destroy to free up the DNA? Those are the cell membrane and the nuclear membrane. The soap inside our mixture forms something called micelles in water. The cell membrane and the nuclear membrane are formed out of something called phospholipids that have a similar structure as the soap molecule. Because of that, the micelles want to interact with the phospholipids, so it rips them out of the cell wall like a magnet and freeing our DNA. Okay, enough with the nerdy talk. I poured the liquid inside our bag into this big beaker. And I swear to God, the biggest thing I am proud of is somehow not drinking this solution because it looks better than any single drink I have seen. If you are wondering where all the DNA is after we just extracted him, well, he is a bit shy, so he doesn't want to show his face. Okay, I am kidding a bit. The real reason is because it is dissolved in water, and we will have to use isopropyl alcohol to pull him from the water. And now is probably a good time to mention the isopropyl alcohol needs to be ice cold. So if you are watching this video and want to do the extraction yourself, just place it in the freezer. After the strainer filtration was done, I now had to filter it through a filter paper, and that was so boring and long that I almost fell asleep. The suggestion I would have for you guys here is to replace the filter many times and have patience. I also have zero clue what I was trying to accomplish with these cinematic shots, but I don't blame myself because I was so bored waiting for the filtration to be over. Oops, you didn't see that. Finally, after the filtration, it was the time for the final step. I poured 200 ml of ice-cold isopropyl alcohol in a beaker. I also apologize for how shaky I poured this isopropyl alcohol. And guess what? I wanted to drink this too. It looked more fresh and cold than fricking ice. And by ice, I mean on frozen water, of course. Anyway, I poured the IPA mixture into the strawberry liquid and you can already see the stringy white liquid that submerged at the top. That's the DNA. I waited so it floats to the top and then I pulled it out. It looks a bit like chewed gum. Anyway, this is it for the extraction. If you want, you can leave the DNA to dry and then store it somewhere, but I was just too tired to film that after a boring as hell filtration. I hope you enjoyed this video and please like and subscribe so I can buy myself a nice drink and avoid drinking this, and also to support my friend that I treated like a tripod this whole video. Goodbye.